District 1 World Tour Beach Fest. Carnival Saturday night, Clifton Hill Beach Resort, Point Forting, Saturday, February 10th, 2018. 6 international DJs, unlimited food and drinks, free t-shirts and wristbands, baseball caps, all-inclusive VVIP cards, and a discount of $50 before the 30th of December 2017. For details, check Facebook, District_1 World Tour, Instagram, District_1, or call telephone 321-2400 or 718-502-5955. The District 1 World Tour Beach Fest. Be there.
We are from.
We are ordinary people living in the pain of yesterday and the tragedy of today.
When you thought you knew them,
she watched me and I watched she.
You will never know until you walk in their shoes. I am.
I was born to a father who is unknown to me.
The story about them. Backed by public demand. Southern Academy for the Performing Arts. Saturday, 16 September. An Ibis TNT production.
I stand in the middle of adversity, but somehow, every story connects with me.
I am. Saturday, 16 September, an Ibis TNT production.
Comprehensive news and sports. News at 10. A roundup of the day's happenings. National, regional, international. All relevant, all important to you. Aspire Online TV. News at 10.
Good night, I'm Nicholas Ramchran with your news at 10 on Aspire TV. Investigations have been launched into the shooting death of a man in his 60s. The victim has been identified as Philip Doljan, popularly known as Ladders in Labre. According to reports, Doljan was said to be liming at a bar in Pleasantville when he was accosted. According to family members, Doljan was robbed and then shot. He was taken to the San Fernando General Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Investigations continue. A Waterloo man succumbed to stab wounds at the Chaguanas Health Facility last night after an altercation with a friend. According to reports, 24-year-old Keegan Subero of YB Road, Waterloo, was rushed to the facility last night. According to News 19, he had been stabbed allegedly by a person well known to him. He died while receiving treatment. One man has been detained and is said to be assisting police with their investigations. Former Attorney General Anand Ramlogan appeared in the Port of Spain Magistrates Court this morning on 2 criminal charges. He appeared before Magistrate Nanette Ford John on the indictable charges. He is charged with misbehavior in public office and obstruction of justice as a result of a report made by Director of the Police Complaints Authority David West on January 28, 2015. According to the second charge, Ramlogan, seasonably believing that David West was a potential witness in judicial proceedings, did use threats, bribery, or other means to dissuade Mr. West from giving evidence contrary to Section 11(2)(a) of the Criminal Offences Act. Ramlogan was arrested at his home in Palmas before daybreak on Tuesday. He spent 36 hours at the police headquarters in Port of Spain before being charged late on Wednesday. Ramlogan was allowed to leave on $350,000 bail. In court today, the charges were read to Ramlogan. The cases were postponed to January 11, 2018. Plans are afoot to restructure the operations at state-owned Petrotrin, and a new board of directors has been revealed to spearhead the initiative. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley this morning revealed that Wilfred Espinette, Reynold Joda Singh, Nigel Edwards, Anthony Chantak, Eustace Nances, Joel Harding, Linda Rajpal, Ranveer Rampasad and Permanent Secretary Selwyn Lashley have been tasked with overseeing the restructure. Speaking at the VIP lounge of the Piaco International Airport before departing the country for vacation in the United States, Dr. Rowley shared some of the issues plaguing Petrotrin, in which has rendered it into a woeful financial state.
Is to try and drill for oil. Oil is in the ground, and if you don't drill, you don't get it. Petrotrin has not been drilling, have not been able to drill, largely because, like other things in the company and the company's business, there has been some serious financial constraints. And if you don't treat with those financial constraints, your very existence is to be questioned, because if you cannot drill an oil company that cannot execute a drilling program to find and bring oil to market is on the wrong track. And secondly, the whole question of the aged infrastructure.
The Prime Minister said on Wednesday Cabinet took a decision to install a new board with a mandate to make the company sustainable. He says he expects to see a turnaround in Petrotrin's operations in 2 to 3 years.
The Cabinet has taken a decision to install a new board at Petrotrin with a mandate to make the company sustainable, work towards profitability, and to restructure it in the best interest of the national community, taking into account all the competing interests and challenges. The board would include Mr. Wilfred Espine, Mr. Reynald Ajuda Singh, Mr. Nigel Edwards, Mr. Anthony Chantak, Mr. Eustace Nancis, Mr. Joel Harding, Mrs. Linda Rajpal, Mr. Randy Rampasad, and Permanent Secretary Selwyn Lashley.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is today slamming the opposition for allegedly creating a division among citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. He made the statement following a noticeable absence of opposition members of parliament at yesterday's commemoration of the country's 55th anniversary of independence at the Queen's Park Savannah. Dr. Rowley said members of the opposition on numerous occasions claim that there isn't anything to celebrate in TNT. He strongly condemned the statement.
Today I condemn the opposition in Trinidad and Tobago for seeking to consistently divide this country and to destroy the institutions which have been constructed to protect us and give us a future. Last year at Independence, I observed a continuation of opposition members who boycott our national celebrations. This year was no different. And as they boycott our celebrations, they carry a conversation that there's nothing to celebrate. Even the poorest countries in the world, countries with pestilence and plague and the threat of war, do not speak of their countries like that. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago are not to tolerate office holders who embark upon destruction of our institutions to speak so unchallenged about a lack of a future for this country.
Dr. Rowley also slammed an opposition member of parliament for suggesting the government was using the police service for political gains. He said the MP may have his own motives for making such a suggestion.
And Dr. Munlal is no ordinary person. He is a member of Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, a former leader of government business in the House, and an MP of long standing. He is speaking to the world. And he is saying that this is oppression on the part of the government, implying that it is executive action of the cabinet and members of this party, not actions of an independent police, under the guidance of an independent director of public prosecution, where the requirements are for information to be converted into evidence and for evidence to be acted upon under the guidance and watchful eye of the director of public prosecution, a place where the cabinet has no presence or involvement. He is saying that this arrest of his former colleague is political action on the part of the government, and he went further to say it is action against persons of East Indian background, and he named a number of East Indians who had been through the court process and attaches this recent development.
Meanwhile, Oropouche East MP Dr. Rudal Munilal has responded to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's statements this morning. He accused the Prime Minister of attacking his character. Dr. Munilal says the Prime Minister's address was another attempt at distraction.
The Prime Minister chose to hit and run. He attacked me and then 5 minutes later boarded an international flight. when the Prime Minister should have been assuring the people of Tobago that they will have proper transportation, when he should have been dealing with crime, when he should have been addressing serious concerns concerning the status of Mr. Robert Leigh Hunt, he chose to attack me. These are some of the challenges that Dr. Rowley would like to remove from the front burner and to distract public attention. But I believe that the key issues of the day should remain on the front burner, and Dr. Rowley should not be allowed to divert public attention away.
A Cocoreed man is warded in a stable condition following a shooting incident on Wednesday night. The man, identified as Peter Parkinson, was said to be standing along the roadway in the Waterhole area, Cocoreed, when several loud explosions were heard. 3 men were then seen fleeing the scene on foot. Parkinson felt a burning sensation to his hip, and the police and emergency health services were notified. The wounded man was rushed to the St. James District Hospital, where he was treated. He is said to be in a stable condition. In a surprise move yesterday evening, former banker Robert Leigh Hunt was sworn in as a Senator and Minister of Public Utilities for the second time in the space of a week. He took the oath of office at around 7:30 p.m. in a ceremony at the office of the President in St. Anne's, just days after his official appointment was revoked because of his dual citizenship. Notice of the second swearing-in ceremony was issued at 4:30 p.m. yesterday, just hours before the ceremony. Leigh Hunt took the oath of office as minister 1 week ago, but 4 days later, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley indicated that the appointment was in breach of Section 42(1) of the Constitution and advised the President that Leigh Hunt could not serve as a senator because information had come to him that Leigh Hunt was a citizen of Ghana. On Tuesday, Dr. Rowley blamed a communication glitch for the mix-up, but did not explain why the information about Leigh Hunt's citizenship only came to him after he took the oath of office. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has been managing the post of Public Utilities Minister since the revocation of the appointment of former Housing Minister Marlene MacDonald, and held the position from July 1st to August 23rd until Leigh Hunt's appointment. Citizens turned out in large numbers at the Queen's Park Savannah from early yesterday morning to view the military parade in commemoration of TNT's 55th anniversary of independence. The grandstand was packed to capacity, and spectators who could not get seats took up vantage points behind the barricades on the parade ground. The event came off with military precision, with the parade starting promptly at 7:30 a.m. and ending with the 21-gun salute. President Anthony Carmona was greeted with applause when he arrived at around 8 a.m. for his 5th Independence Parade since becoming the country's 5th president in 2013. Other dignitaries in attendance included Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and his wife, Chief Justice Ivor Archie and his wife, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and government ministers. However, there were no sign of opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa or any other members of the opposition, as was the case last year. The Port Authority has given a deadline of September 20th for the submission of tenders for the supply of a roll-on roll-off passenger fast ferry on a 2-year time charter with the option to renew for 1 year. A newspaper advertisement from the authority said the sealed tenders must be submitted by 2 p.m. on September 20th at the office of the Port Secretary, Port Authority Building, Dock Road, Port of Spain. The tenders will be opened at 12:15 p.m. on the same day. The authority said it reserved the right to cancel the tender process at any time, and it is not bound to accept the lowest or any tender. On Monday, the authority issued tenders for the provision of a suitable passenger ferry and a cargo vessel for the Sea Bridge. The TNT Express, Carbo Star, and a water taxi are the vessels currently servicing the Sea Bridge. The TNT Spirit is currently on dry dock. The Express is scheduled to be dry docked once the Spirit returns to service. Mobile scanners are expected to be in operation at the ports of Point Lisas and Port of Spain by the end of September. 4 mobile scanners were donated to Trinidad and Tobago by the United States Customs and Border Protection Agency in 2014, and Comptroller of Customs Glenn Singh said on Tuesday that the final contracts were expected to be received from the agents by yesterday or today. He said once the final payment is made to the dealers, their representative will be in Trinidad within days to assess the scanners. He was speaking during a visit to the Port Lisas port by members of Parliament's Joint Select Committee on National Security. Committee member Prakash Ramada expressed disappointment that the scanners were not yet in operation, pointing out that the instruction to have scanners installed was given since 2010. Explaining the reason for the visit, Committee Chairman Fitzgerald Hines said that guns are entering TNT, and the intelligence services have indicated that the legitimate ports are being used to bring contraband into the country.
Aspire TV, online TV. You'll never miss a thing again.